really quick, while I have you. Philo, have you heard about it? Oh, it's the best. They're giving you 25% off 2 months of Hallmark, Lifetime, Up, GAC, the sorts. The movies we're talking about? Philo. 25% off. Philo.tv/DTH. Don't let this pass you by. Philo.tv/DTH. Here's the episode. This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
Hey, I'm Panda, and I like Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Dave, and I'm allergic to cats and Hallmark Christmas movies.
And
This is the Hallmark Podcast.
Oh,
Yes. Wah, wah, wah.
Today's the day, guys, that our 4-year friendship with Alonzo Duralde finally pays off.
That's right.
Oh
Exactly right.
Because
Exactly
we
right.
finally landed Dave White. We finally did it. We had to suffer through Alonzo for 4 straight years.
He wrote a book
He
for
wrote
us
a
in the
book
process.
for us.
We actually didn't even want a book written
We were just like,
We
wait
just
till
went
we get
along
Dave.
for the ride.
But if it gets us Dave White,
That's right.
then it's worth it,
Yeah.
I guess.
What
and
a
now
deal.
we finally did. Alonzo Duralde's better have Dave White joining us today. Dave, how's it going?
It's going very well this morning because I'm not currently watching a Hallmark Christmas movie. I'm sitting here in my cozy pajama pants and drinking tea and talking
Well,
to
there you
y'all,
go.
which is a
And this
far,
is
far
what-
better thing to do.
I've been clamoring for a while, a little bit of balance to the force here, because Dave will be. I'm very confident on this film that Dave is going to be with me on my disdain for Hallmark movies. I don't want to give anything away yet.
Well, I do. I want to know, Dave, your
Yes.
relationship with Hallmark, but also when this
I don't
movie was
have one.
announced. Yeah. When this movie was announced, well, you do by association with Alonzo because it's on all the time.
Oh, no,
But
we
what-
lead separate lives.
Well, you know what's funny is, Dave, I remember Alonzo at some point saying when this first started, he basically had to wait till you go to bed to watch these movies. And
That
then
tradition still holds.
it does. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought for some reason, I thought that had thawed a little bit and
No.
you're occasionally okay with them on in the background, but I guess not.
It works out very well because I am and have been for my entire life a morning person, which means I'm not a night person. So I go to bed quite early, and I'm it's like 9 or 10 o'clock, and I'm falling asleep on the couch.
Perfect.
So off I go. And then he likes to stay up till like 10 or 11. And during that time, he watches these terrible, terrible films. And I don't have to deal with them at all. Now, during that moment when y'all were having your little collabby about this book, I said to him, I understand that this is a major writing project and that you must indulge your need for this all day long in order to keep up with the project. So when you are watching them, I will pretend that it is white noise. And that's really what it is anyway. And I'll keep my headphones on, or I'll go to the back of the apartment and not pay any attention. Do your job. I understand there's a book deal in place. Go ahead. But now that book has plopped onto the internet and into bookstores, we're back to the paradigm of do not put that thing in front of my eyes while I am awake. Wait until I go to bed. Otherwise, this marriage might not be able to be sustained.
No, but the question that people might be asking is, you're joining us for the 9 Kittens of Christmas. Now, and I don't know if you
Yes.
noticed, this is a sequel. So why
I heard.
are you?
I
why are
actually
you
read the
this,
book.
this hater? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So why this movie? Why did you
'Cause
want to
you
join
chose
us for
this
the
one,
sequel?
Dave.
Yeah, it was a
I love-
requirement.
I love Kittens. It's the cruel joke of my life that I love, love, love. And I mean love sincerely, genuinely, without irony. I love cats and dogs and puppies and kitties. And I am ridiculously allergic. That was not a joke. And I mean emergency room visit allergic.
Wow.
I have been to the emergency room because of cats.
Wow.
Wow.
And if your animal has fur, you can try to fake me out and tell me it's hypoallergenic, and I will pet it, and I will get hives up and down both arms,
That's
and I will have to
unbelievable.
leave your home.
Oh,
It's I sustain myself as an adult, my pet-free life, which is, again, as I said, agony for me because I see all my friends who have dogs and cats and how happy those pets make them. And so what I do is I follow cats and dogs on Instagram. My friend Elizabeth has a cat named Milky Joe that is my very favorite cat. He has his own Instagram account. Go follow him,
course.
Milky Joe. He is my handsome cat boyfriend. He's the greatest cat on the internet.
Milky Joe getting a shout out.
Milky,
Deck the
shout out to
Hallmark.
Milky Joe. But you've seen 9 Lives, I'm assuming.
No, of course not. Why would I do that to myself?
That's fair. That's fair. I thought for sure like the requirement to watch this movie, have you join us, was because like 9 Lives was maybe one that snuck through and you liked it. No, nothing to do with that. You just like cats.
Well,
There's no such thing. I'll tell you something. Alonzo Duralde sat me down, I don't know when it was, 2 years ago, 20 years ago, whenever these things started inundating the television. And he made me watch 10 minutes of something, and I'm blanking on the name, but people were crying and they were sad because someone was dead. And, Two Turtle Doves was the
Two
name
Turtle
of it.
Doves. Yeah.
And he made me sit down and he watch it and watch that. It was a 10-minute clip. And I was like, oh my, this is real writing and real acting happening.
That's
And I'm getting emotional and I have no idea what's going on.
Mm.
And then he said, would you like to watch the rest of it? I said, I would not. I said that was the moment. And I'm sure that there are no other moments in any other Hallmark movie that will make me feel anything. And so no, I did not watch 9 Lives of Cats or whatever it was called. I did read the synopsis of your page in your wonderful book, I'll Be Home for Christmas Movies, that is available in all bookstores and internet book retailers, co-written by my husband, Alonzo Duralde. And but no, I love Kittens, and I have to look at Kittens. And so I sat down innocently, naively, thinking that I was going to get actual kittens from this film. But we'll get to the problem of that after you do your synopsis.
For sure. And I will say this. I feel like my burden has been eased quite a bit because I was dreading this, Dave. This is a beloved now franchise. 9 Lives of Christmas is one of the most beloved Christmas films.
Rightfully so.
Like,
By whom?
By the Hallmark viewers, Dave. And I don't want you to think less of them, but yeah. When we started the podcast, people were like, you have to, it was one of the first movies we ever reviewed before our first season. We did as a preview episode and I didn't like it. And boy, the mail came in fast and furious.
We still get reviews about it.
I was kind of dreading having to watch this second one and knowing that I probably wasn't going to like
Panda's picking up his book to find out if he liked the movie.
I can't remember.
That's exactly.
I
So
can't
you
remember.
do that and really
Brent,
quickly.
You
before
loved
we,
it. Panda liked it, and Dan hated it.
What a wild
You want to get
take.
after it, Brand?
I do want to say really quickly, we just posted a Universal Yums video unboxing of Scandinavia,
Ooh.
the box, not the.
Dude,
we're not.
no, we didn't
unboxing
unbox the country.
but great snacks.
The balsamic tomato chips, potato chips, balsamic vinegar potato chips were unreal. You need to get it just for that.
It's not my thing usually, but the treats are just so good. Universal Yums, I try snacks that I would never do. And the holiday box is coming up, universalyums.com, promo code Hallmark. They're the official snack of Deck the Hallmark all holiday season long. So shout out to them.
Love it.
And shout out to that Greenville, the Christmas parade this Saturday.
Dude.
Lord
Can't
willing, we're going to be a part of it in some way.
They did announce the Grand Marshal, and it was not us.
It was not us. We're not the Grand Marshal, but we might be a part of it in some way.
Yep.
And so we hope to see everybody there that's in the surrounding areas.
Great.
All right, are we ready to do this
Let's
thing?
do it.
The 9. What'd you find out?
I said fine wasn't overwhelming.
What
So
did I say?
you were said it's not. You said a second ago it is a classic. Now in
Well,
your
yeah. And then you said best chemistry could have used more Christmas. Love it.
That's true. I remember that about that movie. The Christmas is underwhelming in that movie.
Yeah.
I said, I think I love the story. We were all more interested. I think that the love story we were all more interested in was between the cats, Queenie and Ambrose. They said they were in love at first sight.
what did I say?
You said best chemistry could have. No, I'm sorry. You said yes, they've got chemistry, but this is a debacle.
Okay, that checks out. All right.
And you said, I believe you said frumpy.
I said that her coat was frumpy.
You said frumpy. You
And
called her
people-
frumpy.
I did not call Kimberly Sustad frumpy. People thought I did, and that did not go well on Twitter at all, which is fine. It is what it is. Listen better.
You
but
stand
whatever.
by it?
I stand by it.
All right, Panda. Are you ready to do this thing?
Let's do it.
9 Kittens of Christmas, originally aired on November 25th, Thanksgiving night. You had your turkey. You had your mashed taters. Football. And you say, everybody, turn off everything. Sit down. Watch the 9 Kittens of Christmas with me. It's what I want. That's not what I didn't do, but I imagine someone did.
That's not what I didn't do.
It went a little something like this. We're back at the fire station, and Ambrose, the kitten, and he's just climbing over everything. He's just a little kitten. Firefighter Zach is still fighting fires, and good for him. We then head to Miami to I don't know if you've heard about the Miami
Party in the city.
The heat is on.
Yeah,
all night.
Wait,
on
where?
on the beach.
Yeah, until at least the break of dawn.
Oh wow.
Welcome to Miami. And Mara Lee now lives in Miami, has her own little vet clinic with her boyfriend, Miles. She comes back home for Christmas and immediately bumps into Zachary, who is dressed up like an elf for something, doing things that firefighters do around the holidays where they just dress up. And they awkwardly talk, and she goes on her way. She then gets a video call from Miles, and he says, I can't come to meet your family for Christmas anymore. Things are just too crazy here. And she's like, all you care about is work, blah, blah, blah. And they ended up breaking up. It's very serious. The music is real heavy there. A big old box of kittens shows up at the fire station, and Zachary is on his way to have them looked at by a vet. Until he bumps into Mara Lee, and she's like, I'm a vet. I will look at them. And she and Zach talk about, they decide to team up and get those suckers adopted, which obviously means they're going to be spending a lot of time together. The old fire chief is retiring and wants Zachary to take over, to become the new chief. And he's like, I don't know if I want to do that. My life is good. Why change? And that is exactly why him and Mary Lee broke up in the first place, because things were good. Why change? They end up kissing big ones one night, and she runs off in regret. It's time for the fire party where the chief is going to announce his retirement, and Zachary decides, I'm going to take over. I'm going to embrace change. They slow dance. They're having some real heart-to-heart conversations. Things are getting sparkly there, and then Miles shows up. And she has to go outside, have a conversation with Miles. And there's a lot of like touchy hand time. And she's telling him, hey, this isn't going to work out, blah, blah, blah. But Zach sees it out the window, sees the touching of the hands, and he says, I'm going to go home. I'm going to call it quits for the night. That night, she calls him. And his little kitten makes him answer the phone, and he's like, I'm going to act like I'm not here. I'm just going to like leave it on. And so she just spills her guts about how she's in love with him, and that it's always been in love with him, and couldn't be anything with Miles because Miles wasn't him, this whole thing, just kind of hoping that he heard that declaration. It's Christmas Eve, and she shows up at her house and is like, hey, I want to show you something. He takes her to a house that he's been renovating and gives her a cat collar and says, I want to adopt Rudolph the cat with you. So that's nice. But then there's more. He gets down on one knee and he proposes, and she says yes to that. They kiss and they walk into the house, and all the cats got adopted. And that, my friends, was the 9 Kittens of Christmas.
We
Wow.
did it.
We did do it. We
No,
did
that was
do
a
it.
pretty short synopsis.
Yeah, I mean, they've tried to find homes for cats for a while.
They did. Yeah,
They
did.
sure do,
They
buddy.
did. What you're saying is it's maybe not as plot packed as you would have thought.
They're finding cats.
Did you mention the advent calendar? I tuned out for a little bit,
No, I didn't mention the advent
and
calendar.
rightfully so.
Well, did not mention the advent calendar. Hey, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll break this movie down with 4
I
segments.
love it.
Here on Deck the Hallmark. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to talk about Butcher Box today.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
When it comes to meat, look no further than the high quality good goods of Butcher Box. We got Butcher Box.
Oh man, life
And
changing.
it's changed my life because there's no more search in the grocery store for the highest quality meat. Butcher Box just sends it right your way. We got a box full, jam-packed,
Man.
full of meat. The best of the best. We got just an assortment.
Beef, pork,
Mhm.
poultry, fish, all of it.
It was amazing.
All
and it's
delightful.
So convenient, so much more convenient than going to the supermarket to try to find the good stuff. All their stuff is no antibiotics, no hormones. And each box contains between 8 to 14 pounds of meat, depending on the box that you choose. And oh my gosh, man, right now until November 30th. So you've got today, you got tomorrow, and then this deal's donezo. They are going to give everybody who signs up 2 delicious New York steaks every month for free.
Wait, forever?
2 a year.
For a year,
okay.
you get
2
2 free steaks
and
every
each
month.
box
For a year?
for a year.
Holy cow, that's free steak.
You got to go to butcherbox.com/deck to sign up. That's butcherbox.com/deck to get this limited time offer that is free New York steak every single month for a year.
Unbelievable.
Butcherbox.com/deck. And what else is unbelievable is Philo, the holiday movie
Now's
hub.
the time.
That's exactly right. Prime time for the Philo. All the channels that are playing these movies. There's a stinking movie coming on VH1. It's a Christmas movie. It's out of control. Philo's the place you can find all these movies.
Philo's
And all you
got
got to do is go to philo.tv/DTH to get 25% off. That's philo.tv/DTH to get 2 months for 25% off, lasting you through the entire holiday season. DVR for an entire year. Go check it out. philo.tv/DTH. We are back, and we're talking 9 Kittens. Man, what a week we have.
What
This
a
is
week.
the first of 10 movies we are covering this week.
Jeez.
That's insane.
It is insane. The busiest week in the history of Deck the Hallmark, and we are
Unbelievable.
right here at the beginning of it.
Yeah, we
boys.
are.
And Dave White is joining us to talk about 9 Kittens of Christmas, the sequel of 9 Lives from quite a few years back. We finally did it. We're going to start with a hot take, and we're going to share exactly how we felt about this movie. We're not going to hold back. Panda, it didn't sound like you held back in that review
No,
from
I
back
sure
in the
did.
day.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to do that today. I'm going to start with you.
Underwhelming? Is that what you said?
I was not overwhelmed.
Not overwhelmed.
yeah.
So he's just whelmed. So what did you think about this movie, buddy?
So here's where I'm at. I remember now it's been a while since I saw the first one.
Sure.
But I remember it being a more lighthearted, fun, goofy affair. I seem to remember Kimberly's character being a lot more, fun, laid back in general. But this movie,
Fun, like someone I'd like to hang out with,
but this movie just had, I don't know, it was just a little bit weightier. That said, I didn't mind this movie. I had fun with it. The cats were delightful. Duchess is royal cat. That's one royal cat.
Duchess is royal cat.
It is
The
royal
sentence
cat.
You just said.
I stand by everything I just said.
Duchess is royal cat.
Duchess is royal cat. I don't know what you want.
Who is royal cat? Duchess.
Duchess is and the most, and the proposal at the end is shocking and wonderful and delightful. I loved it. There's a long stretch where there doesn't seem like there's a lot that happens in this movie. The advent calendar doesn't really make any sense within this movie, and so is it a fun movie for the holiday season that you can have as background, and then you also get cats, and the cats are adorable? Yes. And so as a result of it, it's a like for me, not necessarily a love. Unfortunately, it's probably in the higher end of the middle at this point, the good side of the middle.
And you're
Good
on
side of the middle.
Letterboxd at
I am letterbox.
Letterbox.
Letterboxd. What's your Letterboxd name?
I don't remember.
Yeah, but you're keeping a list.
I am
Checking it
I am.
twice.
Twice is exactly right.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you're not overwhelmed.
I would say, much like the original, I am not overwhelmed.
Okay,
See
fair enough.
page 100.
171.
171.
Don't even need a sequel. Yes, we do. Running press. I'm
Yes,
just kidding
please.
about that.
Everybody buy these books. Many of them. Cyber Monday. Pick them up now. Dave, Kittens, Hallmark. There's a competing battle at your hearts.
Yeah.
What did you think about this one, the 9 Kittens of Christmas?
Pleasureless. practically kittenless, honestly. And as I was watching it, I turned to Alonzo and I said, why are these kittens so old? They do not look like little baby cute little kittens that you can hold in your hand. They look like tweens, like they're sort of almost ready to go to high school kind of cats. Like they've all got that. They've stopped having cute kitten faces. They've all started having like grown-up cat faces. That sort of like bored, feed me kind of face. And I turned to Alonzo and I said, "Why is this? How come they didn't cast a smaller, more fluffy and adorable cast of kittens?" And he said, "Well, Hallmark is really into the whole pet adoption thing, and they really promote it, and they do it in a way that they want." Communicated in a real way to the audience. So it wouldn't have made narrative sense for them to cast cats that were too little, that had not been weaned, and therefore not quite ready to be adopted. And I said, so you're telling me that this extended cinematic universe in which absolutely nothing ever makes any sense stops just for a moment to be responsible about cat adoption. And that is my correct take on this film. I wanted kittens, and I got a bunch of bored teenage, almost adult cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. I don't even know what to do after that. We're not gonna get any better than that.
I don't like cats.
I don't either, by the way.
By
Don't
and
like
large.
them.
What?
I know. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. And so, but I do like Kimberly Sustad and and Superman.
Brandon Routh. Yeah. You remember when he was Superman?
And I like them together. That's why these movies work, is because the two of them are quite delightful together. Everything else doesn't do a ton for me. Again, like there's more Christmas in this movie than the first one, so that's good. More cats too, which doesn't do a ton for me. But we also get a good bit of those two just being charming together. And the ending, but like I was so happy that I didn't see the proposal coming, y'all. I didn't see it coming. I thought it was just gonna be we're getting a kitten together, and that's the next step of this relationship. No. The next step is I renovated a house and we're gonna get married and live in it. And I loved it. I cheered. I went like this with my hands. And Panda, you joined me.
I cheered as well.
You cheered as well. Yeah, because we didn't see it coming. So there's a lot about this movie that I do like. And then there's kittens. And so I agree with Panda by and large. I think it's going to end up on the upper end of my mid. But really a lot of fun. Dan?
I don't like cats, and I typically have a big disdain for Hallmark sequels. And having said that, this movie does not help my opinion on those two things in the slightest. This is a bad movie. The thing about 9 Lives that makes it float just above that pool, that cesspool of like dumpster fire, is Kimberly Sustad is giving a very plucky, quirky, fun, different, not a normal leading lady for Hallmark performance. And Brandon Routh is like still near enough to that Superman glow to where he's very self-effacing and charming. And in this movie, it's almost like the Phantom Menace of the 9 Lives universe. Like everyone's taking themselves very seriously. They think that this is high art. Kimberly Sustad's character's changed altogether. And now there's just a lot of middle-aged cats, as Dave pointed out, running around. Boy, I had so little fun with the first one, and I had less with this one. Not good. Probably not bottom 5, but that's not saying a whole lot. It's a really bad movie. I can't believe we waited this long for this. It was not good, and a prime example as to why we should not have sequels in the Hallmark universe under any circumstances.
Man, you guys are fun. Let's get to all the feels. The part of the show we talk about one of this movie gave us feels. Panda?
How about that proposal?
Oh, how about
my
it, pal?
gosh.
Yeah!
Woo!
Woo!
Did not see it coming.
You go, boy.
Yeah. Oh, am I right?
I mean, you're right, buddy.
I didn't even see it. I sat there and I was a little disappointed. I was like, oh, they're going to end this with just like the cat moving in together there with the kitty. All right, that's fine. But then all of a sudden, the proposal, the ring. Oh, that's love, y'all. That's beautiful.
That's love.
That's love, y'all.
Exactly right.
How does
Dave?
one not see these things coming?
No kidding. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes, Dave, I like to live in my little world and I enjoy myself.
It's nice to sometimes think about being Bran or Panda.
Dave, did you get any feels?
You know what I feel? Here's what I felt. I loved the moment where she looks at Marilee, the character Marilee looks at what's his name? I kept calling him Haircut
Zachary?
through the whole movie because I couldn't remember his name. Zachary, thank you. She looks at him and she says, "Cats." And the camera cuts to him and he looks back at her and he says, "Cats." And it almost felt art house for a minute, and I thought that was great. I also like the part. Anytime I felt something for one of the cats in the movie. I felt for Duchess, the cat in this film, because
Duchess is Royal Cat. I don't know if you've heard.
The movie shows up, the movie starts, and the old cat, I guess her name was Queenie, right? They've got a picture of her.
R.I.P. Queenie.
She's dead. She died just as soon as Marilee moved from whatever town that is, Snoqualmie Falls, to Miami. And all that means is that the Queenie cat hated Florida so much it died to prove that.
Yeah.
But Queenie is perpetually mourned, and so here comes Duchess, and clearly the relationship, as we will see over the course of the film, is one of mutual disdain. Marilee is sort of like, well, you know, Duchess is fine. She's no Queenie. Queenie was special. Queenie was an alpha. Duchess is kind of just here. It's okay, I guess. But I miss Duchess. I'm sorry, but I miss Queenie. Duchess will just have to do until a better cat comes along. But here's the part that I really love about Duchess. Duchess lets this all just roll off her back. She does not care. She cannot wait to leave a scene. Whenever she's being held in Marilee's arms, she's just like clawing to get out. Like, I have to go. You are boring to me, and I am indifferent to your romantic troubles. So why don't you just leave me alone? We'll talk when it's dinner time. Duchess speaks for me in this film.
Yes.
Oh,
that's
man.
fantastic.
Duchess is Royal Cat.
Duchess is Royal Cat, man.
That's not a shirt. I don't know what it is.
Duchess is Royal Cat. With no deck the Hallmark printing.
I actually had another feeling. I have one more feeling.
Go ahead.
To describe. There's a moment where they kiss, and it's sort of an unexpected kiss. It's not the proposal kiss. It's like, we are so urgently horny, we have to kiss each other right now.
Yeah.
And when I saw that happen, I went, oh.
Okay.
And that was a feeling I had, because I was like, well, look at them. They act like they really like want to do, it with each other. And you don't see that very often in these films. You don't see people who act like they even think about it.
Right.
They're not going to do it. But they might kiss with that dry little actor kiss thing. But these two look like they were kind of going for it with the kiss.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
They did. No, that kiss was serious.
It was serious. It really was great. Proposal obviously worked for me, but you already said that. So I'm going to go. This movie reminded me of the time that the three of us went and saw Cats together in January of 2020, which really
Seems
hurt.
like a half
really
a
hurt
decade
because it
ago.
felt like forever ago. And just the best cinematic experience I've had in a long time. It's going to be tough to beat. So you're a Jellicle Cat, and remember, a cat is not a dog. and let's go Cats. Dan?
True. Mine, kind of on board with Dave's. I felt for Queenie, like I felt happy she did not have to endure this film. That's what I felt.
Oh.
Like she's in a better place, and that place is one having not viewed the 9 Kittens of Christmas.
Oh.
And so, R.I.P. Queenie. This one's for you. We did this for you.
Let's pour one up for Queenie. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll do the wait, what's, and the what the hallmarks of the 9 Kittens of Christmas.
Yes, sir.
Here on Hallmark. It is Christmas time, boys, which means it's drinking time, boys.
Am I right?
There are few things in my life that I love more than a good Christmas cocktail, a good Christmas festive drink. And I have to tell you,
Dude, you've been talking about this nonstop. If I hear it again.
Well, you're going to hear it a lot over the next few weeks. Screwball, peanut butter, whiskey.
peanut butter whiskey.
It has revolutionized my life, and I am not.
You've been raving about it for months.
Yes, I am. So I'm just very happy that they're a sponsor, and they sent me some free peanut butter whiskey because I can make all these really fun Christmas drinks that give a little extra peanut butter pizzazz. My favorite is the Screwball the Red-Nosed Reindeer. They have a bunch of fun little Christmas cocktail recipes they'll send you. I love it. Screwball peanut butter whiskey is available in a store near you. And remember, boys, we got to drink responsibly. What's that?
I know we have a lot to do, and we have a lot of fun here on Deck the Hallmark. But we got to take it aside for two things. One, there are a few things you love more in life than alcohol, is what you said.
No. Than Christmas cocktails.
But
there's a difference.
You make a cocktail called the Screwed Off the
Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
you stand by that.
Yeah, you get some hot chocolate, some peanut butter whiskey in there, some marshmallow on top, and then there's one other thing that I forgot, but it's just so good.
Okay.
It's so good.
Very few things. And you don't need to get to a meeting that I'm aware of, but very few things in life that you love more.
Yeah.
Than a Christmas drink.
My family.
Okay.
You boys.
Okay.
This job.
And then Christmas.
My Lord
drink.
and Savior.
Okay. And then Christmas drink.
And then cocktails.
Wow. That's an interesting list.
I'm just saying what everybody else is thinking. We all have alcohol pretty high on the list of things we like in life, right? Maybe if the Orlando Magic were better, but they're not. So give me the whiskey. You know what I mean, boys? Hey, let's get to all. Screwed off. It's Screwball.
I'm gonna think about that for a while.
You just think about it.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's do the wait what's.
Yeah.
It's the part of the show where we talk about what has been made us go wait what. I'm going to start with you, Panda. Panda, what you waiting and what you wasn't?
Just a handful of things, guys, because this movie was, as I like to say, pretty airtight.
Yeah.
First of all, I would like to point out that the chief is going to adopt 2 kittens.
Chief Sam?
Yeah, Chief Sam. I want to give him his due respect, the chief. He is going to adopt a couple kittens, and he says, hey, give us a couple days to kitty-proof your house. Now, as somebody who has and continually fosters many kittens.
Yes.
I will tell you that you do not need 2 days to kitten-proof your house.
Yeah.
It is not a child. It is something you can do.
Maybe they're growing a bunch of bonsai trees on the floor. There's a bonsai garden, and it's just sand and little trees, and they come in and they just poop in the garden, and they climb all over the bonsai
Our
trees.
whole floor is made of bonsai. I don't know what to do.
It's a 60 square foot bonsai tree garden. What is so hard to understand about it?
I have to uproot the whole thing. That would be the only case.
I know I've invested my whole life in this bonsai garden, but I really want a cat.
That's right.
I'm in a real pickle here.
I am in a real pickle.
These trees can't stand up to a kitten.
What do you have to do
trees.
What do you have to do to kitten-proof your house?
I would imagine you just need to put away if you have like any breakable. I mean, if they're small enough, they're not even going to be able to reach like tall cabinets or anything. So maybe just move your breakables to taller cabinets and like get a kitty litter box and like a bowl of food. Like it takes 20 minutes from a run to Walmart. Like, I mean, that's it. Like it's not a lot you have to do there. Yeah, I have no clue.
Shout out to Walmart.
Yeah, shout out to the
They need our help.
Yeah, they really do. They're tough. Here, my only other one is, why are the cat toys? They're in the frozen food section.
Yeah.
So they're in the frozen food section. She's picking up ice cream, and he turns around and goes, "Oh, we need cat toys," and they're right there. They're right there. I don't know
who among us hasn't gone in for just to get a quick DiGiorno pizza and be like,
"Oh, my cat would love
a ball
this."
of yarn.
It's wild. It's wild.
It's wild. Dave, what you got for the wait what's?
I have a lot of them.
Sure.
How long do we have?
Give me your best four.
We got all day, man.
Give me as many as you want, Dave.
I'm confused about what the captain is going to do with that vintage fire truck that they give him. Like when they unveiled the non-restored version of it, I said to Alonzo, "Are they giving him an old fire truck?" And he said, "No, it's just an old Ford pickup." But no. They're giving him a restored vintage fire truck, all tricked out with like hoses and stuff. So like he can drive it around town. and pretending that he is still a fireman, ringing the bell or whatever, following the real firemen around and getting in their way, or like starting fires so that he could be first on the scene to help. I didn't understand that.
Imagine parking that sucker everywhere you go.
Every time Brandon Routh opened the door, he had to hold the bell. Did you notice that?
That's a
So it wouldn't ring.
Here comes Captain. Oh, he's not the captain anymore, but look at that fire truck. And he just drives around town, making people happy, ringing the bell. Okay, so here's the other thing that I don't get. That advent calendar, first of all, is not over 20 years old. You got that in 2018 at a home goods outlet. And the people who in the movie who are, sticking their fingers in the little boxes and pulling out the charms, they start like at December whatever 18th. They don't even bother to go back and figure out what they're all charms. Apparently grandma left them all a bunch of charms in the advent calendar.
Charms.
Are they going to wait until next year, until December 1st? Are they that like adherent to the calendar situation? They're going to just build the charm bracelet more next year? I didn't get that. I also didn't get how, and this is not a thing that I didn't get, it's a thing that I know is wrong and terrible and bad. I am a reasonably accomplished home cook and baker. And when I bake a bundt cake, here is a fact that I know. You cannot take it immediately out of the oven and begin frosting it, because your glaze will just drip down the sides and it'll pool around your bundt cake. But they do. They take it right out of the oven and they start glazing it. Furthermore, apparently, Daisy sour cream is in their glaze.
Yes.
Now, I wanted to tell you that there's no such thing as a sweet frosting glaze made with Daisy sour cream. The sour cream goes into the bundt cake, you bake it, and while it's in the oven, you put that sour cream back into the refrigerator. Guess what happens if you don't? It spoils. And so when you take it out of the oven, not only are you not using sour cream with your frosting, you had better wait 90 full minutes before you start putting stuff on that cake.
I mean, the Daisy sour cream in this movie is prominent.
Well, I would say it's somewhere around dollop.
Yes. Do a dollop.
Do a dollop.
That's right.
Do a dollop. Dave, any more for you?
I didn't understand what Miles had done wrong. Like, why? Because here's what he did. He decided to stay in Miami and take care of their business so that it doesn't, collapse into a sinkhole. Like she wants to take Christmas off. He wants to keep the business going and the computer's crashing and someone has to do something about this. So he has to stay. And she's all, why aren't you coming with me? And I'm like, well, you know what? He's got to take care of the business. You can run home and have fun and do whatever you want. Meanwhile, the boyfriend, the man who loves you, that you ostensibly also love, is handling all of your stuff for you. And all you can think of is, well, I still don't know if he's the one. Can he make cocoa? And I thought, that is not on anyone's list of any relationship test. He's doing all the things that he has to do, and you are flitting about with a haircut fellow who runs the fire department. I don't get that. I don't understand that. There's no good reason for them to break up.
Hot chocolate is always a good reason to break up.
Well, Miles, the one thing about Miles that did not help him here is he wanted to replan the family Christmas time for President's Day. That's Dave. I will, aside from that point.
No, but it wasn't Miles's first time of bailing on family.
But up until that phone call, I was Team Miles. I was. And then he says, I've got it. I know you and your family are all there. What if we do it President's Day? At that point, I can no longer in good faith be Team Miles, because that is one of the dumbest sentences I've ever heard uttered.
What you don't understand is that veterinarians get President's Day off.
Yeah, Vets Day. Yeah,
that's Vets, like President's Day and Vets Day is combined. Yeah. So they're off for an entire week.
Yeah,
and that's like the perfect time.
What better way to celebrate Abraham Lincoln than for those that help our four-legged critters to have the day off?
It's clear to me that y'all are not as patriotic as I am.
So true.
And I believe that President's Day is a fine time to take a holiday. And if And if it means that, the computer system doesn't crash over Christmas, then so be it.
It's fair enough.
Dave, is that all you got?
For now.
You did a wonderful job. They do to bring back Queenie, of course, rest in peace. They have a nice plait. Is that what it's called? Plaque.
Did you
Plat?
say plat? Plat is not a word.
Look at that plat up
Look
there.
at this photo, plat.
Every time I do
What
it,
is the word?
goes
It's
flat.
plaque.
Plaque. Yes. Plat. Have you lost? We're in the first episode.
I know, man.
6. We got to record today.
Plaque.
Yeah.
They have a nice little plaque.
Duchess is royal cat. I need you to
Duchess
know
is
that.
royal cat.
They have a nice plaque, remembering Queenie.
Memory.
And for some reason, they picked the blurriest picture of her with Queenie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of pictures. Maybe they're all blurry. Maybe that's what it's like taking pictures with a cat. But I just don't know why they picked a blurry picture for that thing. So Zach's whole thing, like his biggest holdup in life is that he doesn't like change.
No, doesn't.
He doesn't
do
like
it.
change.
Doesn't do it.
But in the first movie, he spent the whole movie renovating a house.
And in the
And in the
second
second movie, he's renovating another house. It seems to me that this guy really does like change.
he has to have it. He craves it.
He loves change. He loves renovating, changing a house. He likes change. Last but not least, you brought up the charms and the advent calendar, and they're opening up. 17th we get a charm, 18th we get a charm. On Christmas Eve they get a charm, and it's
Is it a
I don't know,
wreath?
a wreath or something like
wreath.
that.
Yeah.
And one of them goes, man, that is 100% mom. So
At what point?
were they confused? The rest of those charms, they could have been anybody's.
Yeah, but this
But
wreath,
this wreath,
that's
this
totally
is,
mom.
This is 100% mom. Now we know. It's 100%
These are
mom.
adults who, by the way, who grew up with the mom who wore that charm bracelet, who seemingly have completely forgotten that charm
Could've been
bracelet ever
anyone's-
existed.
I know she had a charm bracelet, but it could have been anybody's charms.
Nope.
You
Here's a
missed-
wreath.
you missed your
it's a
cat.
wreath.
Oh, thank God.
That's what 100% mom.
It's a
You
great
miss your dead
transition.
cat more than you miss the mom.
That's right. I mean, and Queenie, God rest her
Rest in
soul.
peace.
Yeah. It's a good transition because what in the fire is going on with this advent calendar? Could it be more useless of a plot device? It gets us nowhere. It does nothing and holds no sentimental value. I've never seen a worse use of an advent calendar in one of these movies before.
Yeah, that's
It's
real bad.
it's 100% mom.
It's 100% mom and 100% useless. Why?
Well,
Did they
that was
just
mom
not-
for you though.
And 100% juice.
I just kept waiting for it to connect to the plot in a grander way, and it didn't. It just sat there, just like, yeah, it's cool. Let's go back and get another. And at some point, you're just going to be disappointed it's a charm, right? After like the 12th charm, you're going to be like, oh, here's another charm. Look at that.
Yeah.
We
There was
did
no
it.
bracelet to put those on either.
There's really nothing you
No.
can do with that.
It's just a lot of pieces that the kittens are going to eat. And
It's
you're
like,
gonna have to,
it's like
pump their stomachs.
Take it to the vet.
That's
I can't think of many worse advent calendars than a charm one.
It's real bad.
The only
So go ahead.
the only good advent calendar is the one that has some kind of food.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's
of
true.
course.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah,
Of
yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah,
I'll tell you
of course.
something. The jam and jelly company, Bon Maman, they make an
Another
advent
one.
calendar and 24 days of little teeny tiny different jams and jellies and honeys and stuff. It's the best advent calendar.
Wow.
How do they send you like a little knife?
You have to supply your own knife, or you could just put it up to your mouth and stick your
Just-
tongue in and lick the
Just-
jam directly out.
direct.
Get one of
Yeah.
those. Let's show everybody at home how to do this. Tutorials with Dave.
Oh, I don't have one on me right now.
Oh,
man.
boy, just a
I
little bit
just have
too
my
early.
I just have my cup of tea. That's all.
That'll do.
So
That'll do.
when
I
they
do
get
have
this-
one more. Wait, what though? Whenever you're ready to hear from me.
I'm ready whenever you are, Dave.
These cats are not siblings.
That was on my list. I'm glad you took it.
They say at the beginning of the movie, "Oh, these 9 kittens are all siblings," and I'm like, "Well, then that mommy cat was polyamorous, if you know what I mean, because none of them
The way
are from
I
the same
believe,
litter."
the way I believe to see it, Dave, it's
Yeah.
some menace to society went around and stole a kitten from 9 different litters
Exactly.
and put them in a box and put them on at the fire
A
station.
crime wave of kitten stealing from
That's right.
who had already been placed in loving homes.
That's right. Just
Now-
one kitten per litter.
There are missing little flyers on telephone poles all over that little
No.
town, and people are like, "Where's my darling kitten?" And
No.
the fire chief is like, "You know what? Finders keepers." There are
There's nothing we can do. They get this big idea to restore this truck for Chief Sam upon his retirement. And the daughter of Chief Sam has the idea, and she's like, I got it. And she goes into a garage. We don't know. It might be in the fire station. It might not. And she unveils this dilapidated truck. And she said, my dad, Chief Sam, he had big plans to restore it, but then realized, this is a direct quote, he had big plans to restore it, but then realized restoring things isn't his thing.
Oh.
So he went and he bought the truck all beat up, and he was like, I'm going to make this thing shine. And then he goes, you know what? I would really like to do this.
He woke up early on a Saturday morning, walked out, and
He
said,
was like, today's the day. Oh, you know
I don't
what?
like
Just-
this at all.
This kind of sucks. It's
Just realized I'm no good at this.
It's right.
I got this wrench.
I got
all this
some-
work.
Some paint.
A hammer?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm
Shout
gonna
out to
just
that
go
captain's daughter, though. She's growing out her bangs, and it looks great. She has the best hair of any person in a Hallmark movie that I've ever glanced at walking in and out of the living room.
Any person ever that worked at a fire station, I believe.
She looks like Jane Birkin or Jean Shrimpton from like the 60s. That this sort of like straight hair, hippie glamour of yesteryear, and that cool hair on
There
the
you go.
fire chief's daughter.
There you go. That's a
I
hot
just had
take.
to say that it struck me as something good.
I gave Chief Sam such a hard time in the first movie, and I should have been easier on him because he's still trying to get to first base with his wife. Like, I don't know how else to say it. They've been married 30 years, and he's like, I got a new plan, a kiss a day. And he just tries to give her a kiss, and she's like, not on my watch, pal.
She
No.
actually says to him, "What's all this confidence all of a sudden?" I'm like, I'm sorry, y'all have been married a very long time. Apparently, you've also produced children, so that
That's right.
takes a certain amount of mutual confidence.
Intimacy. That's
Yeah.
right.
Mutual
Yeah.
confidence.
I just couldn't believe that scene. And the rest of the movie, they never really feel like a couple to me. Like, what is this? What's happening over there? Poor Chief
Poor
Sam.
guy.
She was all about him until
Yeah.
he said couldn't restore the truck, and then she's like, "Are you sure you're my guy?"
And last but not least, Chief Sam, after he's announced his retirement, he brings over a couple of cold brewskis over to Zachary, and he hands him one. And Zachary
It
looks
was
at him and goes,
O'Doul's.
no, it was his home brew. I wish it was
Okay.
O'Doul's. That would make me feel better about the fire department, but it wasn't. He said, Zachary says, another thing I'll miss at the firehouse, your Christmas brew. Are they drinking on the job at the firehouse?
They are. Yes.
I love a Christmas drink as much as the next guy, unless that next guy is Brand
That's
or
right.
the fire department in Bend, Oregon.
Listen,
The
if that's
reason
what
he likes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For
well, I'm
talking
just
over
gonna say, if that's what it's like to be a fireman, I am in.
The reason he likes the Christmas brew is because while everyone else is sitting around drinking it, he goes out, sets fire to a house that he wants to renovate, and he comes back, takes care of business. Everyone else is sleeping on the job with,
That's
booze
right.
a hole.
What a fire department, man. And to think most of those people are volunteers.
yeah, right.
Mhm.
We did it. Nope.
Nope.
What the Hallmark?
What the
Time for the
Hallmark?
What the Hallmark
Hey-o.
show we wonder what could have been. Maybe having some clarity. I'm gonna start with you, Panda. Panda, what are you wondering about, pal?
I do want to discuss this. I think it's now time to bring up where was this truck located? And we had a little bit of disagreement about this.
Well, we just don't know.
renovated- Yeah,
We don't know where it's located.
I am fairly convinced that but it matters, and here's why it matters.
Okay.
Is it located at the fire department, which is my assumption? It was located this entire time at the fire department, and it was based off of the shot where she goes, well, come on, come see this, and they all walk out and they look at the fire truck. That was my understanding. It's there. My thing is, why are they doing taking up an entire bay of a firehouse with a truck that needs renovation for years. I mean, we're talking years they've had this.
It's possible that the chief's house,
yes,
the
there's
garage
so many reasons.
is close to the fire
There's
department.
so many ways that this could be not what you're saying.
Now, I will say the one thing you got going for you is the fact that it's pouring down rain. So, like, how likely is it that they would have traveled far
by foot during
well, they could have gotten in the car. They
firehouse.
could have gotten in the car.
Yeah.
They could have gotten in the car and then got
There's
out
just-
to
there's
walk
a
and-
But who's manning the firehouse at that
For
point?
the one, there's got to be another fire crew, right? It's not just them all the time. It's not just those 5 people all
Well,
the time.
why would
There's
they be at
another
the Why
crew.
would they be at the fire station if they weren't
Then
on
we're just
duty?
hanging out.
I'm just saying there's 1,000 different possibilities.
No, I don't think there are. That's the thing. I don't think there are.
All right, buddy. Whatever you say.
However many houses there are in this city is how many
Possibilities. That's
there are.
exactly right. Because it's a tighter fit garage. It could be at the
I
fire
don't think-
department.
Could be.
Literally anywhere.
I need somebody to go back and look. Tell me about the continuity.
I
of
don't
that
know
scene.
if there's anything in the shot that will
I think there
settle
could
this.
be.
Okay, then you go
All
do
right,
it.
then go
I'm
do
not
it.
the one-
Yeah.
I don't have time. I'm here in the middle of a marathon.
You want us to care as much as you clearly do, and we're not going to do the work for you.
I'm not asking you guys to. I'm asking our beloved our
just
friends and
come
family.
on. Don't do that.
Duchess is royal.
Duchess is royal,
Royal
cat.
Cat. I don't know what more you want me to say about it.
You said it, pal. Dave, what are you still wondering about?
Well, nothing related to this film because it gave me everything it clearly had to give. But I know, because I know how these things work, because I live with Alonso Duralde, that there will most likely be a third film because this one is based on one that was very popular that I never watched, and this one I'm sure will also be very popular too because Kittens, even though it's a lie, for the third film, I would like the following. I would like these 9 kittens, in air quotes, to grow up, become a few months older so that they can be of breeding age. They will meet, breeding partners for themselves. They will have, in turn, more kittens, and then there'll be the third movie. There'll be real little kittens in this next movie, unlike the ones we see here. And then over the course of the next film, like number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, eventually they overrun the human population and muscle them entirely out of the picture. Less people, more kittens. I actually would watch that. Remember when they would, I say remember, I assume they do it every year. Hallmark does those things where the puppies tear apart the Christmas ornaments and
They haven't done it. They haven't done it.
They haven't done it yet.
No,
They haven't. Okay, well, there was also one with kittens.
Bill Abbott took it with him.
Oh, well, good riddance to that. So the thing is that I want like a kitten scene, an extended 15-minute, still long shot of the kittens just frolicking. All of them, all the kittens frolicking. Because that's what I thought I was paying good money for my ticket to see, and then I didn't get it.
But on the Yule log, they had kittens. They would bring in some kittens. They'd bring in a pig. There were some rabbits. It was a revolving door of animals.
Oh, I only saw the kittens because I guess that's all I have in my heart.
Yeah, that's fair. So I there was a lady who said that she was going to take how many cats? Was she going to take 4? 3.
3. And then she
And
decided
then she decided
couldn't.
not to because
The rescue
called.
They had
and
4 babies.
So they needed to take in more. What's her deal? What's her deal? That is quite the move to say, I'm gonna take in these cats. No, these cats need me more.
Yeah.
So shove off to the cats that I said yes to.
Yeah.
It's an
Sorry.
interesting move.
Yeah.
What's her deal?
Okay, so I think I can answer this.
Okay, go ahead.
So
It's
they
at the
mentioned
fire department. There's a garage.
don't need your snark right now, Daniel. It's still early in the day. And I would say they mentioned she's part of a rescue. And so that rescue has 4 cats that they need, and it was an emergency situation. I don't think it's a matter of saying that these cats are more important. I think she has some sort of obligation since she's part of the rescue.
She doesn't
to
have an
step
obligation. She gets offered that. She can say yes or no.
She's,
like a
she's the
foster
one who
parent.
started the rescue. Like, and so I
She
wonder,
started the
Oh,
rescue.
that's what they
Wow.
said.
Then why didn't they
When-
give the 9 cats to her to figure out how to get rid of?
I don't know, but they when they were talking about her application, they were like, yeah, she started a cat rescue. So I think she checks out. Like, so I think it's her rescue as well.
Now I have even more questions about
Yeah.
her. Now I have even more questions about her.
I have an
She's
idea.
fascinating. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
She started this rescue. It's a small town, right? So what happens in a small town is that eventually you run out of bodies, to talk to or, exploit in whatever way that you need to. And the thing is that maybe she's full up with cats. You don't know how many more she has in her home. However, having said that, I will say this: as we all know, there's the letter of the law and the spirit of the law, and
Spirit of
she's
the law.
obeying the letter of the law. But she has a moral obligation to take those cats and put them in, I don't know, the garage or whatever, away from the other ones that she's rescued. She's got room. It's a big house she lives in. We all saw it on screen. So I find her morally suspect.
fair
What if
enough.
she already has 100 cats in there, though?
Well, then what's 3 more? Who cares? Like,
Maybe that's the limit. That's
I
the
call
breaking
it quits
point.
at 100. 100 cats, yes. 103, no thank you.
No way.
Can't do that. It's
Throws
too
the
much.
dynamics
I
off
gotta-
of
I
all
got-
the kittens.
I'm going to have to cat-proof my house all over again.
All over.
And that's a whole weekend.
That was well done.
Yeah, I just want to know when a out-of-town vet and a fireman get together to adopt out 9 kittens. What goes into that application process? Because they specifically say that they have to run applications for all of these people that are adopting these cats.
Yeah.
What are they talking about? They're not working with a rescue. This is just a veterinarian from out of town and a fireman. And those two have the cats that they have found. You want the cat? Here's the
You
cat.
want it? I got it.
Go
Meow,
get
meow.
it.
It's
Meow,
a
meow.
cow.
There's no world where an application comes into play at all. Now, when you go to the vet for the first time, you're going to fill out some paperwork so they have records. But in this stage of the process, there is no paperwork that is involved in this. It's, I got cats. You want a cat? Here's a cat. But she says numerous times, I've got to run their paperwork. I just need to know what application they crafted together and went out with that they made people fill out. Are they doing background checks? What are they doing? I need to know this information.
Don't they do that with dog rescue, though?
If you go through a rescue, but like if I
Okay.
found, like if a puppy showed up on the office doorsteps,
Right.
I could, and I put it on Facebook and I was like, hey, whose puppy is this? And nobody claimed it. I don't have to go to a rescue. I can just
You're
say,
right.
does anybody want the puppy? Here you go. Here's
Right.
the puppy. That's the end of the
Yes,
transaction.
that's true.
And because you literally did it this week at Chick-fil-A, you
Yes,
said
I rescued a kitten.
you saw a kitten,
Yep.
picked the kitten up and took it home, and now it's in your home.
That's correct.
And you're asking if anyone wants to adopt that kitten.
We have an application process because we're part of a rescue.
You're part of a rescue.
Right.
But if you weren't, you'd just be like, hey,
yeah, absolutely.
Well, but
We
maybe
wouldn't
she
need to-
does because she's a vet. Like maybe there's a
she's
something.
from Miami.
I
She
know.
got the old Oregon application up there.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's
I
no there's
do
no
not think
governmental
you do not
oversight.
need an
going
application.
on
There's
here.
still governmental
Yeah.
oversight over
Yeah.
this.
Did you still get your peppermint milkshake, or did you just?
I
bring
did
it down?
not.
Oh,
no,
what a
no.
ripoff!
I know.
What a ripoff!
No.
We did it, everybody. Congratulations! Wow, what a great time. Dave, you host a show called Linoleum Knife as well.
I do.
And some
Yes.
other things. So use this time, promote away. What do you want people? How can people follow you and all that stuff?
Well, you can listen to the podcast that my husband and I, his name is Alonzo Duralde, we co-host it together. It's called Linoleum Knife. We are both film critics, which is weird. Like you normally, first of all, very few people make their livings as film critics anymore in the United States. And to find two in one home that are married to each other is extra strange. And so I think that's our selling point, right? We have this podcast, and I'm a film critic. As I said, I write for The Wrap. Alonzo is my editor, which is
He's the worst, isn't he?
also hilarious. And otherwise, I guess you should just go to our Instagram account of our Christmas decorations, because
Oh yeah.
we love Christmas in this house, and I love Christmas so much that I refuse to watch Hallmark Christmas movies. But we do,
Oh, boy, Dave.
we do have an Instagram account entirely devoted to our Christmas decorations. It's called DXAX Tree. That's D collab Alonzo, another collab tree.
I love it. It is a great
It is a great follow. There's no doubt about that.
It's a lot of fun.
And if you love real, actual cinema and real movies, you will love Linoleum Knife. It is a wonderful podcast, insightful, funny, just great all the way around.
And if you just want to listen to Dave's voice for a while,
The dulcet
as I
tones
do,
of Dave White. That's how you do it.
That's exactly right. We did, everybody. Congratulations, Dave. Merry Christmas to you and to everyone out there. May we be the first to wish you a
Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast. It's presented by Philo TV. It's produced by Brandon Gray and recorded live in, Greenville, South Carolina. Set decor is by Plum at Haywood Mall. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on Bramble Jam Podcast Network, you can go to bramblejampodcast.com.